We are live streaming.
All right, we are starting the public hearing. I think there's a sign-in sheet if everybody hasn't signed in.
Make sure to use the microphone there.
Oh, that make sure to use. Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
so we have to have this in the right distance here.
Perfect.
Glasses right, so I can read actually. So this is the preliminary environmental impact determination public hearing for the City of La Salle, the lead service line replacement project. So we've submitted a project plan into the Illinois EPA. So this is a part of the IEPA SRF loan funding requirements to hold this public hearing and obtain any public comment. The project description is we're going to remove and replace approximately 500 lead service lines throughout the city. There's a project location attached to the PED, which shows the area where we're planning to do this. The replacement of lead service lines are required to reduce health risk associated with lead exposure. Service lines are small pipes that carry the drinking water from the water mains into the homes, and the older service lines may have been constructed from lead. The adverse health effects of lead exposure in children and adults are numerous. Well documented, eliminating lead service lines will reduce exposure to residents living in homes currently utilizing lead service lines. Estimated construction start date will be end of this year, December of 2025. The construction completion date is shown as June 2030, so we have a number of years to complete the project. Project cost estimate is $3,332,000. The project's being proposed to be financed with a loan from Illinois EPA Public Water Supply Loan Program. This loan is being given at an interest rate of 0% and a 20-year term. So at the $3 million mark, that's a loan repayment of $166,000. The loan agency adjusts its interest rates each July 1st. The city does qualify for an incentive, based on what was originally published from IEPA. The incentive would be 100% loan forgiveness for the loan. That is still yet to be determined as a result of the loan scoring and ranking. That'll happen after the end of March. And just reading through the stuff here. So right now the city is eligible to receive a 30-year loan term for the loan. As I mentioned, there's some amount of loan forgiveness that is available. We'll have to see what the current forgiveness rate is for the state of Illinois for this loan. But like I said, that the early stages, it was shown that the state was providing for 100% loan forgiveness for lead service line replacements. So the source of the loan repayment will come out of the current revenues from the water system. We have some data here, potential proposed rate increase, based on if the city had to repay it all is $19.08. Just going on here, the monthly residential rate cost calculation is based on roughly 3,200 gallons per month. The median household income for the city of La Salle is $49,583. Based on the financial evaluation of the proposed project, the MHI being listed, the projected annual water cost overall of $433 a year is 0.87% of the MHI for residential water users. So that's something that the EPA calculates to see if there's a financial burden on the city, on the residents for doing the project. The environmental reviews, this is part of what this whole process is for. There will be some temporary adverse environmental impacts such as construction-associated noise, blowing dust, air emissions, soil erosion, minor traffic disruptions will likely occur during construction. These temporary impacts will be minimized through provisions defined in the contract documents, i.e. implementation of soil erosion controls, proper traffic control, set construction hours, etc. Project has been reviewed by various state and federal agencies for potential environmental impacts and determined unlikely to pose significant environmental risk. From the information provided, no significant impacts are expected to rare or endangered species, historical or cultural resources, prime agricultural lands, stream crossings, wetlands, floodplains, or any other sensitive areas. During the replacement of the service lines, there may be some impact to water quality during that time. It's recommended that interior plumbing be thoroughly flushed before resuming domestic consumption of water within the home. And then there's recommended flushing guidelines that will be given to each customer. Planning approval, when granted, will be conditional based on further consultation with Army Corps of Engineers and the Division of Water Resources. And public comments are invited for the proposed project. There's an address and phone number to send comments in to Fred Blanford, the project manager at the Illinois EPA. The City of La Salle will have the P documents on file here if anybody wants to review. And comment period will be open for 10 days from this date to receive any further public comment. And that's all I have.
That's 10 calendar days, not 10 business days.
Correct, 10 calendar days. So that's all I have. If there's any public questions, comments?
So the 500 is phase one, is it?
Correct.
Okay, that's like south, is that south of 11th? This map's hard to read, or is it?
You remember?
Or does
The,
it go
our
like
map
third?
here?
the map is generally Second Ward south of 7th, I believe,
Yeah.
or south of 11th.
It is hard to read.
South of 11th, okay, yeah. That's the oldest part of town, so most likely.
That's
Well,
where we-
actually, it's basically Ward 2 and 3. Or, I'm sorry, 1 and 2.
1 and 2, which is 11th, is the boundary.
But it actually goes north of 11th to
Looks like about 13.
south of Roosevelt.
Oh, it goes that far? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's like 1600 north.
But that's just
1700.
a graphic representation of where we think lead lines are.
Okay.
We won't be able to cover all of that. We're going to do 500
Yeah.
of where we have, and then hopefully, we anticipate there's going to be 1,400 possibly.
Yeah, we had like, somewhere just south of 1400.
So there'll be second and third requests to do the same thing that we're doing in the areas where we identify additional lead. So with the 100% forgiveness and trying to get 500 of these replaced, Mr. Boyer has also mentioned that the estimate is for the complete replacement of the lead service line.
Now, they replaced my personal line within the last couple of years, maybe a year ago only. It was galvanized going through the wall. How do we determine anything else past there? Or we
Galvanized is also on the docket to be replaced, correct, Terry?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
So galvanized or lead, because galvanized will hold the lead particles in the sediment or in the pipe. So that will also be, if we come across galvanized, that also is considered a replacement as part of this loan.
Any other public comments?
We just had some public walk in.
We're in the middle of a public hearing on proposed lead service line replacements. So if there's any comments you'd like to give, you're certainly welcome to now. Currently having heard none, I suppose we can close the public hearing then.
Close the public hearing.
Okay.
All right.
4:09, and then ordinance court begins at 5.